Look at all of these beautiful rooftop packaged HVAC systems. This is the fourth consecutive year that we've come to this property here in Inwood, New York, servicing these 6 rooftop units. Now, they all run on natural gas to provide heating, and they all provide cooling by means of the air conditioning side of it. This unit in particular has been a problem over the last several years, and every year we have to add refrigerant to the system. Fortunately, it's a newer system that uses R410A, but you cannot make the leaks go away unless you make a massive repair. Now, last year we proposed replacing the condensing coil, which is what's leaking there. We'll get back to you. Out of sight, out of mind. So here we are. This system controls the finance office. We have a low side pressure of, sorry for the flashing, it's the refresh rate between the digital display and the phone. That says 74 PSI, and my upper one is 238 PSI. We're gonna check the filters, make sure they're good. We'll hook up our probes to measure the temperature, and it's gonna give us our superheat and subcooling. All right, I hooked up my temperature probes to the liquid and suction line on the inside of the unit. Put the cover back on. I also took out the filters, 16 by 25 by 1. These should be 16 by 25 by 2. That goes there in the filter compartment. That's the filter compartment. That's the blower compartment. The evaporator is right there. If I go to my JB app, there's our temperatures and pressures, 74 on the low, 254 on the high. We're at 2.8 degrees of subcooling. And if we touch on it, it'll tell us that low subcooling occurs when the condenser is starved for refrigerant, and is typically an indication of refrigerant undercharge. Low subcooling is not typically a singular issue and can also be the result of a charge migration to the evaporator. We should be having 10 degrees of subcooling, but we only have 2.4. We got a jug of R410A. We have our scale. We're gonna weigh in some refrigerant. All right, we have our 25-pound container of R410A inverted, upside down on the scale. I'm gonna purge out a little bit of air. There you go. We're gonna zero out our scale. Beautiful. And we're gonna add refrigerant. Oh, I don't have one on there. That sucks. I grabbed the hose because I needed a valve. So I can valve off the charge as I add. But now I don't have the little pin in there to push in the Schrader core on my low side, my high side service port. Let's go to the truck and find what we need. All right, we just got approval from the property manager to add more refrigerant. He goes, for now, add more refrigerant, which is the same thing he told me last year. We're gonna watch the scale. Normally, I like to add half a pound at a time to a system when I'm making an adjustment up to refrigerant levels, but I have a lot of history with this system. We're gonna add a pound and let that settle for a few minutes and see how the system reacts. That's 1 pound right there. Let's close our valve. We're gonna let these pressures stabilize and see where we're at. Now, that number at 29 degrees, that is the temperature of our evaporator. At 85 is the temperature of our condensing coil. And right now we have 23 degrees of superheat and 8.6 degrees of subcooling. Now, we just added only 1.1 pounds, but we have to let this sit and stabilize for a few minutes before we add any more. But that was a drastic change with just 1 pound, 1.1 pounds of refrigerant. All right, folks, it's been a few more minutes. Our pressures are still there. And I'm looking at the history from last year's service call, and strangely enough, we were here on April 24th. Today is April 15th. And on April 24th, we added 3.2 pounds of refrigerant. I'll show you these numbers right here, folks, so you're wondering. And we added sealant. We added the Easy Seal Ultimate, the LSUV, that handles from 2 to 7.5 tons with 3.2 pounds of refrigerant. Now, we're almost at where we need to be with refrigerant on this system with 1.1 pounds. Last year was 3.2 pounds. Let's go back the following year. Here we go, May 8th, 2024. RTU not cooling. Look at that, folks. Can't make this up. The year before, right? 3 pounds. 3 pounds of refrigerant. The property owner did not, let's see, did we discuss sealant? No, we didn't discuss any sealant last year, at least it's not indicative on the receipt. But in 2024, we added 3 pounds. 2025, we added 3.2 and added the sealant. And now look, we are at, it's crazy. Let's look at those numbers again, folks. Can't make this up. Let it refresh. It's gonna refresh in a second, but we're at 9 degrees of subcooling. Wait for the pressure to repopulate. It'll happen. Don't worry about it. It's coming. Sometimes it's gotta you gotta play with it a little bit. There you go. That shows you that there are a lot of naysayers about the sealant and putting it into an air conditioning system in the refrigerant cycle. I know, yes, I know it doesn't belong there, but if it can prolong the inevitable and it's okay with the homeowner or the property owner or property management, our job is to provide comfort, indoor conditioned space. That's my job. Whether it's extracting the heat in the warmer months, doing air conditioning, or dumping heat in the winter months to give heating. Let's just fine tune this a little bit. We probably need to add 0.4 pounds more. Let's open up this valve a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 3. I'm gonna stop at actually 1, 4. Only because we had a big jump with just that 1 pound from very little subcooling. And looks like we're at 10.6, 10.5. Remember, it's also got to stabilize. So that may jump up or down a little bit, but our target is 10 degrees, but ideally 7 to 13 degrees. So if I just added 1.4 pounds of refrigerant to this system to deliver some nice comfort cooling to the finance office of this building, I think we did a good job there. What do you think, folks? Smash that thumbs up button. And remember, if you're tired of getting bamboozled by your HVAC contractor, you got a commercial building in the Long Island, New York City metropolitan area, pick up the phone, give us a call, 516-348-6300, or save time, book online at pipedoc.net. All right, I just pulled off the temperature clamps, and there's no indication in the prior history of this unit, but the high pressure switch here, the high pressure reset switch, has been bypassed. And this orange wire, I don't know where that went. That's the plenum, furnace plenum limit there, but everything else in this electrical department looks okay. I'm not a fan of how the incoming line voltage is literally right up against the interior of this electrical compartment. But it is wrapped with some electric tape, so I guess with vibration, it's okay, but it is what it is. There's our furnace control board. The relays, the contactors for the compressor and the condenser fan motor. There's our compressor, scroll compressor. The ZP51K5E TF5 130. I'll make note of this because I never, there's no documentation of that on the customer service record, but if we want, we could get some spray. I think we did it last year, and whatever. It is what it is. But remember, give us a call if you're tired of getting bamboozled. All right, we're closing the valve on the tank. We're gonna open up that valve. So whatever refrigerant, high pressure refrigerant is in this hose, I'm gonna dump into the refrigeration circuit. We're gonna close this. Gonna take that off. Take that off. Actually, let me just open that up. There you go. We'll take that off. And now we are done charging the system and finishing up the service call. All we gotta do now is type up our receipt on the invoice message to the client. All right, time for invoice message. Arrived at location to service rooftop unit that conditions finance office area. As indicated during the last 2 years, system is low on refrigerant. In 2025, we added a sealant to help slow or stop the leak, along with 3.2 pounds of refrigerant. In 2024, we added 3 pounds of refrigerant. Today, delivered 1.4 pounds of R410A virgin refrigerant, little typo there, to the refrigeration circuit. Based on previous history, it appears the sealant slowed down the leak rate. It is in the client's best interest to either make a major repair or replace the unit. A major repair would mean replacing the condensing coil. There's all the notes on the invoice message, which gets sent to the property owner when we finish out this work order. And as soon as I hit done, my time stops. House Call Pro makes note of that. We send the invoice off to the client. We have a credit card on file, so House Call Pro automatically charges the card, and we are good to go. I did forget one thing that I say about the filters. Hold on. I think I didn't mention the filters. Oh, yeah. Remove 2 dirty return filters. Client needs 16 by 25 by 2 filters installed in filter compartment. And now we are complete.